Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a coin you've probably seen all over social media lately, the 1970 Washington quarter. You might have watched videos claiming that this quarter could be worth as much as $1.4 million. If you've got one in your pocket change and you're wondering if you've struck it rich, you're in the right place. In this video we're going to explore the fascinating history of the Washington quarter, what makes certain coins collectible, how much real 1970 quarters are worth, and whether there's any truth to the seven-figure claims. Stay with me because the reality might surprise you. Let's begin with a little background on the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Sculpted by John Flanagan, it features a dignified portrait of Washington on the obverse and a soaring eagle on the reverse. For decades this design became one of the most recognized coins in American circulation. Before 1965 quarters were struck in 90% silver, but rising silver prices led the U.S. Mint to switch to a copper-nickel-clad composition that we still see today. Now fast forward to 1979, the United States Mint was producing billions of quarters annually and demand for everyday change was high. The Denver Mint struck a huge number of Washington quarters that year, which is why you see the letter D on the reverse of the coin. The mint mark tells us it came from Denver. And for 1979 there were hundreds of millions of these coins made. Because of that massive production run, most 1970 quarters are extremely common in circulation. So what does this mean for the value of a typical 1970 quarter? If you've got one you pulled out of pocket change and it shows normal wear from everyday use, it's almost always worth only face value 25 cents. That's because there are so many of them that collectors don't pay extra for coins that are well worn. Even quarters that look crisp but are still circulated usually only bring their face value when sold or traded. Collectors, however, do pay more for uncirculated coins. That means coins that never went into circulation and still retain their original mint luster without significant wear. A 1970 quarter in uncirculated condition might be worth a bit more, depending on how well it was preserved. Most uncirculated 1970 quarters sell in the low dollars, with modest premiums over face value. Coins that have been professionally graded as higher mint state examples can command slightly stronger prices, sometimes into the double digits or low hundreds for particularly high-grade examples, but that's still very modest compared to the sensational seven-figure claims. Now let's talk about the fun part: errors and unusual varieties. Some coins leave the mint with mistakes that make them more interesting to collectors. These can include off-center strikes where the coin design isn't perfectly aligned, clipped plan case where part of the metal blank is missing, double dies where some design elements look doubled, or striking on the wrong plankette type entirely. These unusual errors can definitely increase the value of a coin because they are rare and appeal to specialists who collect error coins. For example, a noticeable off-center 1970 quarter might attract collector interest and sell for anywhere from a few tens to a few $100s depending on how dramatic the error is and how well the coin looks overall. Double die varieties can also bring premiums if the doubling is clear and attractive. But even the most dramatic errors documented for the state usually don't approach anything close to $1 million in price. They're valuable relative to ordinary coins but still within a realistic range based on rarity and collector demand. So where does the $1.4 million claim come from? That's the part that drives views and clicks. Sensational titles and social media posts often use big numbers to grab attention, but when you look for real documented auction results or verified sales, there is simply no evidence that the standard 1970 Washington quarter has ever sold for anywhere near that amount. Real auction houses that track coin sales don't show seven-figure transactions for the state. The most valuable 1970 quarters in certified high grades or rare error examples have sold in the low thousands or low tens of thousands in exceptional cases. That's impressive for a modern circulation coin. but it's nothing like the millions that viral headlines claim. A coin's value comes from what collectors are actually willing to pay in the real world based on verified sales. Professional coin grading services assign a grade that helps establish a realistic price range. A high grade like MS66 or MS67 can make a quarter more valuable than one that's worn. But even then the prices tend to stay in the hundreds or low thousands. Nothing that's been publicly recorded reaches seven-figure levels for this 1979D issue. If you think you might have a 1979D quarter that is unusual or valuable, the best approach is to have it examined by a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service. Authentication and grading help confirm whether an error is genuine and what condition the coin truly is. That makes it easier to determine a real market value rather than relying on hype. Let's recap. The 1979D Washington quarter is a common modern coin with a large mintage. Most examples in circulation today are worth only their face value. Uncirculated specimens and genuine error coins can be worth more, sometimes significantly more, but the range is realistic based on collector demand and documented sales, not viral exaggerations. The idea that a 1979D quarter could be worth $1.4 million is a sensational claim that doesn't match actual auction records or coin market evidence. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the history and value of the 1979D Washington quarter. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next coin value video. Have a coin you're curious about? Drop a comment below and we might feature it in a future video. Happy collecting and good luck on your treasure hunt. If you'd like, I can also add chapter markers or a hook intro for even better engagement on YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy learning about valuable coins, rare money, and hidden treasures that might be sitting in your pocket or coin jar, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's get started. The Washington quarter has a long and important history in the United States. It was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design was so popular that it became a permanent part of American coinage. The front of the coin features a strong profile of George Washington, while the back originally showed a proud American eagle with its wings spread wide, representing freedom and strength. By the time we reached the year 1984, quarters were no longer made of silver. Instead, they were produced using a clad composition made of copper in the center and nickel on the outside. This change happened in the 1960s due to rising silver prices. Even though the metal content was different, the design and importance of the quarter remained the same. Now let's focus specifically on the 1984D Washington quarter. The letter D means this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1984, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters. Because of this extremely high mintage, the 1984D quarter is considered a common coin in everyday circulation. Many people have spent these coins without ever giving them a second thought. So why is there so much talk about this coin being worth $1.3 million? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity within rarity, and internet myths. Most 1984D quarters that have been used in circulation are worth exactly 25 cents. These coins show wear, scratches, and dull surfaces from years of use. They are not rare and they are not valuable beyond face value. However, coin value changes dramatically when condition improves. Uncirculated coins, meaning coins that were never used and still retain their original mint luster, can be worth more. A 1984D quarter in high mint state condition can sell for several dollars, and in very rare cases, hundreds or even over $1,000 if professionally graded at an extremely high level. Professional grading is done by trusted companies that examine coins under magnification and assign them a grade based on condition. Coins with nearly perfect surfaces, sharp details, and strong eye appeal receive the highest grades. Only a tiny fraction of the millions of 1984 D quarters struck have survived in this kind of condition. Now let's address the $1.3 million claim directly. There is no verified auction record of a 1984 D Washington quarter selling for $1.3 million. This number appears to come from exaggerated headlines, misunderstood listings, or confusion with other rare coins that truly are worth millions. Sometimes a listing price online is mistaken for a sale price, or a rarer coin from a completely different year is incorrectly linked to the 1984 D quarter. That being said, error coins are where things get interesting. A small number of coins leave the mint with mistakes. These errors can include off-center strikes, double strikes, missing details, or unusual metal issues. Error coins are always collectible because they are accidents that were never supposed to happen. If a dramatic and unique error were discovered on a 1984 D quarter and confirmed by experts, it could be worth far more than a normal example. Even then, values usually reach thousands or tens of thousands, not millions. The idea of $1.3 million keeps circulating because people love treasure stories. The thought that a simple quarter could change someone's life is exciting. While the reality is less dramatic, it does not mean coin collecting is not rewarding. Many collectors have made significant money by learning how to identify condition, mint marks, errors, and historical importance. If you have a 1984 D Washington quarter, the best thing you can do is examine it closely. Look for sharp details, strong shine, and any unusual features. Compare it to photos of graded examples online. If you believe your coin is exceptional, consider having it evaluated by a professional grading service. This is the only way to know its true market value. In the end, the 1984 D Washington quarter is a fascinating piece of American coinage history. It represents a time of massive production, everyday use, and the enduring legacy of George Washington on U.S. money. While most of these coins are worth face value, a small number are worth significantly more due to condition or rare errors. The $1.3 million story is more myth than fact, but it continues to inspire people to look twice at the change in their pockets. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more honest and detailed coin value stories, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who loves coins. You never know what hidden history might be sitting right in your hands. Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a coin that's been popping up all over social media lately, the 1987 D Washington quarter. You've probably seen those videos and posts claiming that this coin could be worth as much as $1.3 million, and you might be wondering if it's true. In this video we're going to go through the real history of this coin, why most are common, what can actually make a 1987 D quarter valuable, and whether there's any legitimate basis for a seven-figure price tag. By the end you'll know exactly what to look for when you find one in your pocket change. Let's start with the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first struck in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The classic, designed by John Flanagan, features Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, and became one of the most recognized coins in American circulation. Originally these quarters were made of 90% silver until 1964. But starting in 1965 the U.S. Mint switched to a copper nickel-clad composition that we still see today. This change was driven by rising silver prices and the need to keep coins in circulation. Fast forward to 1987, the Denver Mint produced the 1987 D Washington quarter, and it was released into everyday circulation just like thousands of other quarters that year. In total there were about 655,594,696 of those coins struck at Denver, making it one of the more common Washington quarter dates. Because of this huge production number, it means most 1987 D quarters you find in circulation are not rare and are easy to come by. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 coin trackers. So what's the value of a typical 1987D Washington quarter? If you find one in your pocket change with normal wear, it's usually worth just 25 cents. Say its face value A, because collectors don't pay extra for worn modern coins that are plentiful. Even coins that look almost new with light wear generally still trade for only their face value or modestly more. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 coin value lookup.com. Now if you find a 1987D quarter that has never been spent and looks pristine, that's called an uncirculated coin, and it can have more value to a collector. In uncirculated grades you might see values of a few dollars up to perhaps around $10 to $20 depending on condition and demand. Very high grade slabs graded by professional services can command a bit more, but typical uncirculated 1987D quarters still sell in the low double digits at most. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 coin value lookup.com. There are also error coins and unusual varieties that sometimes appear. Coin errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, such as a plan kit slipping off center, a misaligned die, or a doubling effect on parts of the design known as a double die. Collectors find these errors interesting because they show something unexpected in the minting process. While certain error coins can be more valuable than ordinary ones, their prices generally range from modest premiums up into the hundreds of dollars depending on severity and collector interest, but not anywhere near millions. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 coin value checker. If you look at documented auction sales, you get a clear picture of what real 1987D Washington quarters have sold for. Auction archives show examples graded MS67, which is an exceptionally high grade, selling for around $500 to $1,500 in rare cases. These represent some of the best preserved examples with sharp details and minimal marks, but even these are a far cry from the sensational $1.3 million price tags that show up in some social posts. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 grade collections. So where do viral claims about a $1.3 million value come from? Sensational and exaggerated headlines attract attention and clicks, but real coin values are based on verified auction results and market demand, not hype. There is no confirmed record of any 1987D quarter selling for seven figures in a legitimate auction or sale. Even the most collectible examples trade in the low thousands at best based on publicly available data. If you happen to find a 1987D quarter that you think might be special, here's what to do. First, look at the condition. Uncirculated or mint state coins will have crisp details with no wear on Washington's cheek or hair curls and strong definition in the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Second, look for clear error features that are genuine mint errors rather than damage from circulation. If something looks unusual, it can be worth having the coin evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or a professional grading service, where experts can confirm authenticity and assign a grade. In summary, the 1987D Washington quarter is a common modern U.S. coin with a large mintage. Most circulated examples are worth their face value of 25 cents. Uncirculated coins and genuine error coins can be worth more and might attract collector interest, but even the best documented examples sell in the hundreds to low thousands, not seven figures. Always rely on real auction data and professional grading rather than viral claims when determining what a coin is really worth. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the history and value of the 1987D Washington quarter. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin value video. Drop a comment below if you've found a rare coin in your change and we might feature it in a future episode. Happy collecting and good luck on your treasure hunt.